Welcome to the latest episode of Branding the Experience, where we discuss ways how we can create environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back. I am Ken Bator, your host for Branding the Experience, and it's great to be back for season 9. We've got a lot to discuss. Sorry for my hiatus of about 4 months and so forth. Had a number of great things that we needed to accomplish for the POCUA and the Public Safety Business Summit, and I'm really excited to get back to Branding the Experience because we need to bring the experience back. And that's the subject of this first episode of season 9, is bringing that experience back, because the tagline for the show, creating environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back, that seems to be lesser and lesser every day with labor shortages and inflation and trying to navigate this post-pandemic thing, masks, no masks, and so forth. Here in 2022, I can tell you that the majority of my experiences, restaurants, bars, hotels, with contractors, it has been a less than meets expectations type of an experience. Just last night, I was at a local restaurant, and it was obvious that the few people that were there, I don't know if it was because of a labor shortage, they just couldn't get people to work, or they just coming out of the pandemic couldn't afford another employee for that shift, or what the reasoning was. And God bless these folks. They were busting their ass. There's no better way for me to put that. But the experience was lacking. But what made the experience tolerable, frankly, and this goes back to what I was saying in the recent Cool Culture Corner episode about communication, is the people that were there, were very communicative about, hey, I'm going to get right back to you. Hey, I'll get that bill for you as soon as I can. Acknowledging that they need to serve, and also, busting their behinds, not just sitting there like I had at a recent hotel experience when we asked an employee, are we going to get our room taken care of today? Will we get housekeeping? And the person just said, I don't know. Yeah, maybe he doesn't know, but there's a better way to respond to that in order to create or maintain the experience that you promised at your place of business. So my objective, especially for season 9 and for all of my client engagements, is to bring that experience back, to bring some of that empathy back too, because even if we are short-staffed, let's find a way to lower that stress a little bit, to understand that, what, the customer, client, or member doesn't care that you're short-staffed. They don't really care that there's a labor shortage. They don't care about inflation and some of these other things for the most part. Sometimes with some communication, you can gain a little bit of empathy from your customer base, and I encourage that. But at the end of the day, they're paying for an experience. And it shouldn't be where only the highest end of payment gives you that experience. And what I'm referring to is, I will call out in a very positive way the Public Safety Business Summit, which was the main reason why we were on a hiatus, was held at the Chart House in Savannah. Possibly the best service, definitely one of the top 5 that we received. The food was excellent. The service was top notch. And when there was a little bit of an issue, and this goes back to communication and still maintaining the experience, they communicated with me as the meeting facilitator, as the person in charge, and said, what, we can't do chocolate lava cake tonight, but here are other choices. We can't do salmon because the truck hasn't come yet, but we do have whitefish, and that's okay. as I told them, make sure that we have a chocolate option for dessert. Make sure that we have a fish option for dessert. Because in communicating and knowing that there might be a slight issue ahead of time, I can work with you on that. As a customer, I can have some empathy and say, well, what do you have? All right, you know what? If we don't have salmon, if we have swordfish, if we have something else, that's going to be fine. In that communication, I can show a little bit of empathy, and we can keep the experience very high. So, but it shouldn't be, again, the chart house was awesome, but it was also expensive. I want to make sure that we're having that experience at the local ma and pa restaurant. I want to ensure that we're having that experience at your community credit union or your community bank. I want to ensure that you have that same experience that you came to love before the pandemic today, even with all of the obvious issues that we have. I am not ignorant to that at all. So let's bring back the experience. Let's start with communication. Let's start with understanding what we can do, because don't let what we can't do keep us from doing what we can do. Looking forward to this season of Branding the Experience. As always, I want to hear from you as to what you want to hear about from a branding perspective on this show. And we are going to have a lot of great knowledge to impart to everybody throughout season 9. So thank you for being here, and we'll be back with you next week with another great episode on Branding the Experience. Good to be back.